Margery, and welcome to Spooky Story Time at the Rolla Public Library. It's almost Halloween. Do you dress up for Halloween in a costume? If you can, write down in the comments what you're going to be for Halloween. This year, I dressed up like a pioneer because we're in the Ozarks of Missouri. It's almost Halloween. So here at Storytime, we're going to be telling spooky stories today and on Thursday with a special story time on Halloween this Saturday. So I hope you'll join us throughout the week. Alright, for spooky story time, do you dare to turn off the lights? If you do, pause the video, go turn off the lights for spooky story time. Hey, our magic storytime bag has turned into a magic storytime basket. How cool is that? What are our clues today? Let's see. We have, what is this? Yes, a bat. Oh, there's bats behind us too. Well, bats are interesting creatures. They're nocturnal, meaning they only come out at night. How many bats have I pulled out of the basket now? That's right. 1, 2. Bats eat bugs, which can be very helpful for us. 3 bats. And they live in trees and sometimes caves. Ooh. 3 bats. 4 bats. 5 bats. Oh, and what's this? Hey, that's your craft for the week. This is the little witch girl. I know a story that has a witch and bats in it. And for our extra special Halloween story time on Saturday, you can make this craft and bring it to the story time. All right. I have a story about a witch and bats in a cave. Once there was a witch who lived in a cave, but it wasn't a dirty cave. No, she had put clay on the floor and smoothed it out, made herself a soft bed out of a quilt and moss. She had shelves where she kept herbs and mushrooms that she had collected from the forest. And in her cauldron, she would make the yummiest apple cider and the tastiest stew. Like any good witch, she had her broom, which she would use to keep her cave clean and to fly through the stars under the moonlight on Halloween. And like any good witch, she also had her magic hat. Well, on Halloween night, she got her broom and she went to get her hat so she could go fly out and enjoy the moonlight and fly over the little village to see all the people having their festivities in their costumes. Well, she went up to the hat and it was moving back and forth and back and forth. And she got a little nervous, but she knew she needed her hat. So she looked inside and there were 5 bats. Imagine that. And we have a song to go along with this story called 5 Little Furry Bats. I'll sing it the first time and we'll be counting up and down. So You can count to 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bats. And then backwards it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can sing with me whenever you're ready. It's a pretty easy song. I think you'll pick it up. 5 little furry bats sleeping in a witch's hat, dreaming of most delicious bugs. Yum, yum! One flapped into the air, got caught in the witch's hair. Now there are 4 furry bats, flap, flap. 4 little furry bats sleeping in a witch's hat, dreaming of most delicious bugs. Yum, yum! One flapped into the air, got caught in the witch's hair. Now there are 3 furry bats, flap, flap. 3 little furry bats sleeping in a witch's hat, dreaming of most delicious bugs. Yum, yum! One flapped into the air, got caught in the witch's hair. Now there are 2 furry bats, flap, flap. 2 little furry bats sleeping in a witch's hat, dreaming of most delicious bugs. Yum, yum! One flapped into the air, got caught in the witch's hair. Now there is 1 furry bat, flap, flap. 1 little furry bat sleeping in a witch's hat, dreaming of most delicious bugs. Yum, yum! It flapped into the air, got caught in the witch's hair. Now there are no furry bats, flap, flap. Good job! Well, I hope you enjoyed that song and story. What is that magic bag? Oh, I mean magic basket. We have another story today? Let's see. Well, hey, this book is called Who Said Boo? Halloween Poems for the Very Young, written by Nancy White Carlstrom. We have quite a selection of spooky stories and Halloween books here at the library. You can ask for them and get them at curbside. Hey, it's a Bumpy Little Pumpkin. Did you know you can come to the library this week, ask for a little pumpkin, and then you can either paint it in our courtyard or take it home to decorate. And we're having a contest too. You can find out more about the contest on our website at rollapubliclibrary.com. And here's our book, The Bumpy Little Pumpkin by Margery Cuyler, and it's illustrated by William Hillenbrand. All right. Ooh, spooky, huh? Hey, there's bats, just like we have here and in the song. And there's a ghost. Oh no, the witch went splat into the house. I wonder if that's the same witch who went flying in our story. And then looks like we have a pumpkin patch with a scarecrow and a family. Oh, they might be witches too, huh? Little Nell lived with Big Mama, Big Sarah, and Big Lizzie in a great big house in a great big woods. Behind the great big house, there was a great big garden. Hey, can you say big too, like that, every time I say big? So, there was a great big garden and a great big, and in the great big garden, there was a great big pumpkin patch. All summer long, little Nell had helped her family water and weed so that the pumpkins would grow big and orange for Halloween. When Halloween finally came, Big Mama called Little Nell and her sisters into the kitchen. "It's time for each of you to pick a pumpkin to carve," she said in her big blustery voice. "Me too?" asked Little Nell. "You too," said Big Mama. Can you find the spider in the picture? There it is, hanging from the lights. So Little Nell followed her sisters out to the pumpkin patch. "There are so many wonderful pumpkins, it's hard to choose," said Big Sarah. She picked up a tall, skinny pumpkin. "I think I like this one," she said. Big Lizzie picked up a round, fat pumpkin. "This is the one for me." So there is Little Nell and her big sisters. But Little Nell couldn't decide. She walked back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, looking at all the pumpkins. Some were big, some were small, some were crooked, some were tall, but none was just right. At last she came to the end of the patch, and there sat a bumpy little pumpkin all by itself. Can you see the bumpy little pumpkin? "This one's my favorite," said Little Nell. "It's bumpy and little and ugly," said Big Lizzie. "It could have a nice smiley face," said Little Nell. "No way," said Big Sarah. "How about this nice smooth one instead?" "I like the bumpy one," said Little Nell. Big Sarah and Big Lizzie rolled their eyes. "We're taking our pumpkins inside," said Big Sarah. "You keep looking till you find a bigger and better one," said Big Lizzie. "Then we'll help you carve it," added Big Sarah. And there they are, leaving the pumpkin patch. Oh goodness! Some animals have come to this pumpkin patch. Can you see them? I see that might be a deer and a rabbit and a bear. I wonder what they're going to do in the pumpkin patch. After her sisters left, Little Nell sat down next to the bumpy little pumpkin. A tiny tear fell down her cheek, then another and another. Oh, she must be sad, huh? Her friends, reindeer, now we know it's a reindeer, hare, that is another name for rabbit, and bear cub came along. "What's wrong?" asked Bear cub. Little Nell sniffled and snuffled. "Big Lizzie and Big Sarah think my pumpkin's too bumpy and too little and too ugly to make a good jack-o'-lantern." "I don't think it's too bumpy," said Bear cub. "Or too little," said Reindeer. "Or too ugly," said Hare. "You don't?" asked Little Nell. "No," said the animals. "This pumpkin would make a great jack-o'-lantern," said Reindeer, "and we can help you carve it." "How?" asked Little Nell. "Like this," said Reindeer. He lowered his head and cut around and around and around the top until he carved a lid. Have you ever carved a jack-o'-lantern? First you carve the lid out, and then what do you do next? Oh, said Little Nell, that's perfect. So whenever you carve a jack-o'-lantern, the next part is to take the seeds out, right? I wonder how they'll work together to get the seeds out. I can scoop out the insides, said Bear Cub. How? Asked Little Nell. Like this, said Bear Cub. He clawed and pawed and pawed and clawed until there was nothing left but an empty pumpkin shell. Oh, goody, said Little Nell. Now for the face. How can we do that? How are they going to carve the face of the pumpkin? Let's ask the birds to help, said Hare. So Little Nell whistled for the birds. Do you know how to whistle? I'm not very good at it, but you can try to whistle in the birds. Maybe you're better at it than I am. So Little Nell whistled for the birds. Crow, there's the crow. Cardinal, can you see the little red bird? And sparrow flew down from the trees. And there's the little sparrow. Could you make the face for my jack-o'-lantern? Asked Little Nell. What kind of face? Asked Cardinal. With her finger, Little Nell etched and sketched and sketched and etched a face in the dirt. It had triangles. Can you make a triangle? It has 3 sides. For eyes, a square. A square has 4 sides, doesn't it? For a nose, and a smiley, lopsided mouth, like this, she said. So Crow, Cardinal, and Sparrow poked and pecked and pecked and poked until the pumpkin had a face. At last, the jack-o'-lantern was finished. Little Nell smiled a tiny smile. I can't wait to show it to Big Mama, Big Sarah, and Big Lizzie. I wonder what they're going to think, Because before, they didn't think it would make a good jack-o'-lantern, did they? They were critical of the little Bumpy Pumpkin. All right. She is little. Look how small she is compared to the door. She picked it up and ran all the way to the house. What a beautiful jack-o'-lantern, said Big Mama. Where did you get it? From our pumpkin patch, said Little Nell. But who helped you carve it? Asked Big Sarah. My friends, Reindeer, Bear Cub, and Hare, said Little Nell. I still think it's little and bumpy and ugly, said Big Lizzie. Nonsense, said Big Mama. Jack-o'-lanterns come in all shapes and sizes. All shapes and sizes, just like that family and just like us, right? The girls placed their jack-o'-lanterns near the door, and Big Mama lit them. Mine's cool, said Big Sarah. Mine's even cooler, said Big Lizzie. They're all wonderful, said Big Mama. Even mine? Asked Little Nell. Even yours, said Big Mama. And she leaned over and gave Little Nell a big, sloppy kiss. Mwah! Little Nell smiled. Happy Halloween! I hope you enjoyed Spooky Story Time. Remember, if you get permission, you can leave in the comments what you're going to be for Halloween. And come by the library because we're going to have all kinds of treats for you Halloween week. You can ask for your own little pumpkin to paint, either out in the courtyard at home. And ask for your Storytime craft bag so you can make a little witch and play with her during our Halloween Storytime on Saturday. Bye!